Kirk Herbstreit, the recording was aired on Get Up this morning that we saw it. I don't know where it originally came from. Said that he'd be surprised if college football in the NFL weren't postponed or something along those lines.
Huh.
That seems so far from now. And I think every day seems like a week at this point. Every week seems like a month because the way that we've been living, just, no live sports, kind of locked down a little bit, doing our part to kind of battle against this COVID-19. But I do believe it has had its drawbacks, obviously, in humans' lives that's make it felt like every second is an hour. I mean, that is really started to happen. I looked at today, I saw it was Friday. I was like, Monday felt like 4 months ago. I mean, that felt like so long ago. So to think ahead that many months and go, wow, that is possible is kind of alarming. Because as we talked to PJ Fleck yesterday, who gave a presidential motivational speech. I mean, we had to drywall some holes in the walls around here after listening to PJ Fleck. Once sprinting through the damn wall back here, which I think a lot of people did because it's not problems, it's situations, and in those situations arise opportunities. And the thought though that the opportunity on the other side of this is that the things that we might have taken granted for a long time, we'll kind of cherish and favor a little bit more than we had in the past. Getting outside, mingling with friends, meeting up with people, going to a game, going to a concert, doing the thing that instead of saying, I'll stay home, I'd rather going and doing that because perspective was placed on a lot of things, I think, very quickly by everybody on earth at this moment. We're kind of all in this thing together. So whenever you think about that positive mindset of on the other side of this, things are only going to be better. And then people who are very smart, Kirk Herbstreit is a very, very intelligent man. He's the voice of college football at this point. He's the face of college football at this point. He's so good at all of his jobs. Every single job that he has, he's good at. I am a big Kirk Herbstreit fan and thankful for Kirk Herbstreit. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been on College Game Day this past year, which was one of the most memorable things I've ever done in my entire life. So I'm a big fan of Kirk Herbstreit. And whenever he said that he would be surprised if the college football season wasn't delayed or the NFL season wasn't delayed, maybe even, worse. That was crazy to me because Kirk Herbstreit's a guy that now listen, I understand there's probably doctors that have said this. And I respect the MD, okay? I respect the PhD. I respect the DR. I respect the things that you have earned. But if I don't know you personally, I mean, no offense, I'm not going to listen as much as I probably should. Now Fauci, when Fauci's talking up there, Tone, listen, when Tone starts talking, I'll listen. The people that are in the meetings every single day listening to the data, whenever they're speaking, I'll listen to those people. I'm like, okay, listen. But all these other people that are outside that are just speculating on things that they're learning about from the outside, I'm not 100% in with okay, I'll believe everything that person says. And that might be the wrong thing, but this is just how I'm dealing with the news, the gloom and doom news that is potentially being tossed at us on a daily basis. How do you decipher through the grumpy so you can kind of see what's happening and really get a plan moving forward? Because that's what we're all in this to do. So when Kirk Herbstreit steps, and I told you a couple days ago that I got 6 tweets of people that are like, oh, there's going to be no season this year. There's going to be no season this year. And I was like, okay, normally whenever people tweet me something, I gauge it on how many people tweeted it to me, how did they tweet it to me, and is that something that they just read or heard so they thought they would relay me the message, which, by the way, I'm very thankful for my followers. My followers are like a bunch of scouts out there. They see something, hey, I think you would be intrigued by this. They're doing a lot of research for me. I got 6 people that tweeted me a couple days ago. They're like, there's going to be no NFL season. So sorry to interrupt. If you're a man watching this, you deserve to have long, great and you can do that now with our friends at Roman. Right now, you go to GetRoman.com. You get $10 off and free 2-day shipping on Roman swipes, which are guaranteed to make you have longer, more fulfilling every time you get in the sack. Now, let's get back to the fornicating action. And whenever I see something 6, 7 times, I'm like, okay, this is obviously coming from somewhere. If 7 people that read this felt the urge to tweet me, I'm going to assume there's more than 7 people that have read this. So I thought that was a potential, word that was whispers that were getting out. But then when Kirk Herbstreit comes in and says it, it's like, oh, wait, this is a potential real thing. That would be, and I might sound like the most simple meathead of all time. If football season's pushed back, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And this is sad. This is very sad. This is obviously a sad way to look at things in my eyes. But boy, I've been watching old football highlights. I've been watching clips on the internet of me yelling at my television for kicks and punts. I've been watching games on the NFL pass that they gave away. This is how I'm coping. And then as soon as we get on the other side, in my eyes, I'm like, okay, we're off and running. We got the NHL, we got NBA, we got MLS, we got NFL, we got everything. We're just rolling on the other side of this. And then whenever you hear somebody like Herbstreit go, no, that one might get postponed a little bit. It's like, well, if the NFL and college football is going to get postponed, that means everything's going to get postponed. But if you're college football, how the hell do you have your kids training right now? Like off-season training is a massive thing. 18, 19-year-olds like working out and getting faster and everything like that during the off-season, let alone the discipline and everything that it takes. I mean, this is a massive time. They're not going to be able to do any of it, they're saying, until training camp. And is 2 weeks, 3 weeks going to be enough for them to get everybody back in shape? And then probably not is what the college football players are thinking. That's where that's probably going to get postponed. And then you think about the NFL, it's like, well, Commissioner Goodell just looked the general managers right in their face and said, we're not moving the draft. I assume they're not going to move any. They're going to be the last to budge.
Oh.
But college football being moved is a very scary thought for me as a big-time college football fan.
Yes, and I'm saying this obviously relative to the sports world, not real life and everything.
Yeah, we don't talk in the real world.
No.
We can't. We're too stupid to understand that.
But, NCAA tournament gets canceled. That's tough.
Tough.
NBA and NHL postponed. It's tough.
Tough.
NFL and college football, if potentially not happening, is devastating.
Devastating.